go. All right. Now we're going to start part 2. All right. You've just successfully done your in-cab inspection and your brake check. Now you ask him, hey, would you mind getting out and checking my lights for me? He'll say, okay. Because he's going to get out, he's going to go to the front of the vehicle. As he does, roll down your window, turn your vehicle off, turn your vehicle back on. Okay? Quiet down your truck, turn everything off. He's going to be standing in front of you. All right, first thing you do is turn your headlights on so you can check your headlights. You're going to go, headlights. He's going to give you a thumbs up. You're going to go, high beams. He'll give you a thumbs up. Left turn, thumbs up. Right turn, thumbs up. Four-way flashers, thumbs up. Clearance lights, he'll give you a thumbs up. All right. After you hit all of your front external lights, he will walk down the back. I like to turn on your four-way flasher so that way you can look at the ones on the side working as he goes by. He'll get to the back of the vehicle and you'll go, four-way flashers. He'll give you a thumbs up. Left turn, thumbs up. Right turn, thumbs up. Brakes, he'll give you a thumbs up. And you go like this, point to the top, out the window so you can see you in the mirror and say, clearance lights. And he'll give you a thumbs up. All right. If he hangs out at the back or hangs out the front, it may be an indication he's waiting for you to mention something else. So that may be an indication you have forgotten a light. So just go back through your lights once again. But if you watch from the front to the back, that's a pretty good indication that you have gotten all your lights. If you watch from the back to the front, that means, once again, you've probably gotten all your lights. So let's go ahead and hop out and do this inspection.
Right.
Okay, so you get out to the front of the truck. All right. First one on the list is lenses. So you tell them, these are my lenses. They are all undamaged. Take your hood latch off on that side. Take your hood latch off on that side. Then open your hood. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to the right side or passenger side of the vehicle, and you're going to wave your hand across indicating all your hoses, and you're going to say there is no visual leaks, nor do I hear any audible leaks. That will cover all your hoses and everything on this side. All right, and then we go over to the other side. Okay, the next thing on your list here is fluid levels. So you want to talk about your 3 fluid levels. First, we have our coolant reservoir. It is filled to manufacturer specs, it is undamaged, and the cap is on tight. Next we have is our engine oil fill tube. The cap is on tight. If I was to check it, I would pull out the dipstick, wipe it off, reinsert it, pull it back out, and check to see where it is filled to, and it should be filled to manufacturer specs. The next thing I'm going to check is my power steering fluid. My power steering fluid reservoir is filled to manufacturer specs. It is undamaged, and the hose is on. The cap is on tight. Next, we have our fluid leaks. That would cover everything we just covered with those 3 fluids. Then we look underneath and we say there is no visible leaks. There is an and on there, and the and is and air leaks. So then go ahead and come over here to your air hoses, grab your air hoses and tell them they are undamaged and there is no audible leaks. All right. Check that off. Now we go to the steering system. There's 3 parts to the steering system. All right, the first part is your steering column. My steering column is undamaged. It does not have more than 10 degrees of play. The second part of my steering system is my steering gearbox and the hose leading to the steering gearbox. Both are undamaged and neither show signs of leaks. The third part of my steering system is my 3-piece steering linkage. That's here, here, and here. That's your pitman arm, your drag link, and your steering knuckle. You do not need to know the names, you just need to be able to point to those three. And they are undamaged. And then you check that off. Next thing we have here is our tires. Okay, my tires, they are undamaged. There's no cuts, no abrasions, no gouges out of the sidewall. My tires are evenly worn. They have no less than 4/32 of tread. They are not recapped, and they are filled to manufacturer's specs. If I was to check that, I'd put an air gauge on the valve stem to ensure that it is filled to manufacturer's specs. Next, we have our rims. We take a look at my rim. All right, it is undamaged, and it has no illegal welds. Next, we look at our lug nuts. We look at all of our lug nuts. They are on tight, and they are undamaged. Next, we look at our springs, mounts, and airbags and shocks. We look at our leaf spring. We look at our leaf spring forward mount and our leaf spring rear mount. They are all undamaged. I look for an airbag. I have no airbag on this vehicle, so therefore I cannot show it. So therefore you just go ahead and skip it. I do have a shock. My shock is undamaged and does not show any visible signs of leaks. Then you go ahead and you check that off. Now we go to brake lines. We look at our brake lines or hoses. We have no lines because this is not a hydraulic vehicle. We have an air hose. It is a air driven system. Our air hose is undamaged and has no audible leaks. Check that off. Now we go to brake contaminants. We look to the inside of the tire and we show no signs of oil, grease, or debris. My brakes are free of contaminants. Now we go to the side of the vehicle. It's lenses and reflectors. This is my lens. It is undamaged. Traffic monitoring devices. This is my traffic monitoring device. It is undamaged. Okay, next we can either pull this down or we can point to inside here and say inside here is my batteries. They are undamaged and they show no signs of excessive corrosion. Next we go to fuel tanks and DEF tanks. All right, also inside here is my DEF tank right there. Okay, my DEF tank is undamaged, the cap is on tight, and no visual signs of leaks. Here I have my fuel tank. It is undamaged, the cap is on tight, and no visual signs of leaks. Next we go to our frames. This is my truck frame. It is undamaged. We come back here, and these ribs that go across the length of the trailer, those are considered the frames. You take a look at them, you point at them and say, my frames are undamaged for my trailer. All right, next we go to air and electrical lines and connectors. Over here, I have two air lines. I have one here, and I have one here. All right, these are my air lines. These are my airline connectors to my truck. These are my airline connectors to my trailer. They are all undamaged and show no sign, or excuse me, and have no audible leaks. Next we have is our electrical line. Here's my electrical line. Here's my electrical connector to my truck and my electrical connector to my trailer. They are all undamaged. Next we go to is our fifth wheel and skid plate. All right. Our fifth wheel skid plate is right under here. It is that piece of the truck that lays against the trailer. That is your fifth wheel skid plate. You must tell him that it is undamaged and it is properly greased. Next we go to your kingpin and apron and gap. Come back here to the landing gear, look up under there and show him up there in the collar of the horseshoe or up there in the skid plate is my kingpin. It is undamaged. All right. Then he wants to know where your apron is. Your apron is the metal plate up under your truck, right, or your trailer right here. It is undamaged. All right. Now you need to tell them about the gap. If you look at the fifth wheel skid plate and the apron, there is no gap. All right. If you have a gap, that means your trailer is not connected correctly. Check that off and we go to the next portion. The next portion is your locking and safety devices. We have 3 locking and safety devices. Our first one is right here. It is our fifth wheel release handle. It is locked into position and it is undamaged. Right here behind this plate right here is your fifth wheel slide pins. All right. Those are locked into position and do not show signs of damage. The last thing, you come back here and you look back up under here at your kingpin and where your fifth wheel is, you will see that it has lock jaws. Those lock jaws are locked into position and they are undamaged. Next is this trailer. We have the landing gear and the clearance. This is my landing gear. It is undamaged. It has proper clearance between my landing gear and the back of my vehicle. Next is your reflective tape. Along the side of my vehicle here, this is all my reflective tape. It is undamaged. Go to the rear of the vehicle. Lenses and reflectors. These are my lenses. They are undamaged. These are my reflectors. They are undamaged. And that's the total of the pre-trip inspection.